Hey guys, February 4th, my squash thought of the day. Well, here it is Monday morning. And, it's something a little interesting. I've been actually getting requests to speak about different topics. And that's awesome. A lot of people responding to my squash thoughts of the day. And definitely love the interaction and the feedback. A lot of people are actually gaining from it. And it's been very helpful with the feedback that I have been getting. And I'm glad my opinions and the information I do share is getting out to those who probably didn't have no clue at all. It's giving them something to think about now. So, one of the latest ones I've been requested to speak on is Bigfoot and bears. How do they act? How do they live together? And how are their behaviors? Well, I'll share a little bit of information about that. There's a lot more to this, but in my opinion, for those who've been following me, know that I share that Bigfoot and bears, I believe, share a similar pattern. I believe a Sasquatch possibly follows their trail, but yet at the same time they avoid each other for out of respect and food purposes. I really don't think there's a complication between the two species. Now, diet, I do believe there is a similar diet, but yet opposite. And let me explain that. On the North American black bear, their food diet consists of 80% vegetarian and 20% meat. So bears are omnivores. They do eat meat, but it's a low percentage. Sasquatches, on the other hand, being a much larger predator, I believe the diet is quite the opposite. I believe they are more meat versus vegetarian. Again, they are omnivores. Just like humans, just like other primates and apes. To me, it makes sense. It's logical. It's easy to understand. Is it a fact? We can't pinpoint it as fact. But I believe we have enough close information or data that we could safely say that is very highly possible. So again, we have to be careful how we look at that. One of the other things too, a lot of people like to use broken trees and formations and structures related to Sasquatch. One thing I point out often, bears are very common for playing with trees, pushing them over, breaking them, bending them, climbing them, and sometimes when a bear climbs a tree, they get so high up, their weight will bring that tree over. And if they hold on to that tree long enough, what's going to happen to that tree? Those fibers in the tree are going to stretch. Sometimes the tree might spring back up like it should be, like it should do. On the other hand, depends how weak or what type of tree that is. Those fibers just may stay stretched. And in other cases, a lot of these bowed over bent trees that we do find, some of them grow like that. Some of them are formed like that through the weight of ice and snow over time. The other thing is, too, a lot of people don't realize, and this is scientific and this is a proven fact, that some trees will bend in the direction of sunlight, reaching for the sun. So these are simple scientific facts that you need to consider. So yeah, this is a little bit of information. I will be glad to get into this a lot further down the road. A recap on this is we got to be careful mistaking bear activity, bear behavior for Sasquatch. We cannot rule out neither or, but it's more logical to relate and point fingers at a bear being responsible. If we're just talking about the two, now we can throw in weather, but as far as diets and behaviors, now I'm just comparing the North American black bear. We can get into the grizzly, which is a more of aggressive bear. It's never been observed with a bear and a squatch having any confrontation. Again, a black bear, they're very skittish. They like to avoid humans at all costs. They're very scared and shy, skittish animals. They don't like to have nothing to do with us. So think about a large being like a Sasquatch. For us to see them, that would be very highly intimidating. Just like for us to have an encounter with a bear very close. That would be kind of scary, slightly frightening. So In my opinion, I do believe that squatches and bears, well, more or less a bear will avoid a squatch. So, something to think about. It's just my 2 cents, and this is my squatch thought of the day. I'll be glad to get into this more. Keep it squatchy. This is Danny Benoit, founder of the ECBRO.